Wait, okay. Uh-oh, nothing.
Did you put something in the pan?
I did.
Maybe not enough.
Ooh.
I didn't clean the flash hole, though.
Bring a light over here. No, there. Oh, you didn't stick.
I didn't put a needle in the flash hole. It might be plugged.
God damn, that's pretty funny.
Well, I put a pretty hefty amount in there.
That was just...
Okay, it's going.
Ready?
Yeah. Shoot.
Oh. Here.
Talk about a hang fire.
Boy, look at
That might have been a little much.
You put a lot more freaking powder in there than the last time, Gary. That about peeled out of my hand.
I should probably have a measure, huh? Morning, folks. If you're new to my channel, thank you for coming and welcome. You might not have seen this before. I made this I think 2 years ago now. It's what they call a track sled. The commercial ones are called a Snowdog, and there's some others also. Snowdog seems to be the most popular. What it is it's kind of a motorized dog sled. It's made with a snowmobile track and snowmobile parts, and then just a 2-cycle engine. Mine's a 14 horse. It's got a lot of power. The gearing, I forget the numbers, I'd have to count them, but the gearing, the way I have it, it goes about 12 miles an hour or so, which isn't real fast, but it's fast enough. I drove over the edge of a cliff here one of the first times out, and that wasn't a whole bunch of fun. I don't want to do that again. But the reason I haven't been really using this year is because Jeff loaned me that side-by-side, and it's way more comfortable. Even though this isn't bad, I kind of enjoy it. But your fingers, they do get really cold. And your face gets cold because there's no windshield or anything to block the wind. But anyway, I figured I'd keep it going and run it down here to fill the water up for these mules. They're way in the heck down there. And way down here. So they're not wanting any water. They've been eating snow just fine. We haven't had to feed them at all because there's still a lot of feed out here in the field for them. I got one big mule and then 2 burros. Lots for them to eat. Snowing again today, though. If this keeps up, I might have to bring them a hay bale. Their water, the reason I'm coming down here is this little tub. Their water in this ditch, it's kind of a nice deal. This is sort of a warm spring ditch. It's not hot. If you put your hand in the water, it's cold. But this ditch really doesn't freeze in the winter. If it gets really cold, it will, but it doesn't freeze very deep. I got chop ice some of the time, but well, we'll walk over there. But the water level is low enough that I don't think they can reach the water, so I've been filling up a tub for them out of a bucket, and these plastic tubs, they're pretty brittle when it gets cold, and the last one broke, so I got to bring them down this one today. Like I said, they haven't been coming to water, so I don't know if they really want this or not, but if they do, it's here for them. Some of that wood is the upper half of this pile here, where the color is different. That's some of that wood that the Forest Service cut after the forest fire and left on the side of the road. It's still a little green and hard to split. Stuff underneath is dry, and then got all this here too, but I kind of would rather hold off burning this. This is pretty full. I like to keep it that way if I can, but I'm gonna need it anyway sooner or later. So yesterday on the news, on the computer, I saw a news story about fish being unsafe to eat in the United States now. And Kevin over Idaho Hillbilly, my buddy over there, he talked about it a little bit this morning on his video. And I've been thinking about this ever since I read that, and I don't know what to think. You know, so much of this news we get anymore is flat out lies that you don't know what's real and what's not. But the fish, you know, for a lot of years they've been telling us we shouldn't eat them because of high levels of mercury. You don't hear much about that anymore, and whether it's true or not, I don't know. It didn't slow anybody down that I know of. I know a lot of people that are heavily into fishing, and they eat a lot of them, and haven't seemed to hurt them none. But Cindy don't like to fish, and so I've kind of gotten away from it. I used to really enjoy it, and I'd fish a lot, but I haven't done it the last few years quite a little bit. We go on Labor Day weekend, that's about all. Maybe once or twice in the summer. Oh, how you doing, Dots? Anytime I'm splitting wood, she needs a stick. There you go, take that. And anyhow, it got me to wondering, this forever chemicals that you're talking about, it sounds like are mostly from non-stick pans and things like that they use that chemical stuff in. So how did it get into our rivers, lakes, high mountain lakes especially? I mean, majority of the lakes around here and the river and the streams and things, it's all from snow melt and rain, which we don't get a lot of rain in the summer. But they're saying that these chemicals are in the air, and then they collect in the rain and in the snow, and they land in the lakes. Well, it sure seems to me like it would be such small percentage by time it's basically distilled into vapor and then collecting as snow and rain to carry very much chemical in there. Maybe it does, I don't know. But then it lands in a lake that's full of, you know, a lot of water. Most of it is snow melt, so maybe that water already has it in there. But makes me think that if it was really as bad as what they're claiming, they wouldn't be selling those non-stick pots and pans anymore. Because, you know, you stir up a mess of scrambled eggs or something like that in there, you're kind of scraping that, and it seems like that stuff would come off into your food and be far worse than whatever would collect in a fish. I don't know. One article I saw this morning said that if you eat just one freshwater fish out of our lakes and streams and mountains and whatever, it'll build up or have noticeably higher levels of this chemical in your bloodstream. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that or not, but anyway you look at it, it probably isn't a good thing, but I wonder just whether or not it's as bad as what they claim. You know, for many, many years, they used to say, although they still do, they say that lead is terrible for you, but, you know, for many years, lead was used in drinking water pipes. I have in the house here, I have an old tube of Listerine toothpaste of all things, and it's in a lead tube. The toothpaste tube is made out of lead. As a kid, you know, split shot sinkers and things, we'd always crimp those with our teeth, and I don't know if it's really as bad as what they claim. It's not good for you, I'm sure. A lot of folks get Parkinson's, and that's, they say, one of the causes of it. As a kid in school, the teacher used to put a little drop of mercury in the palm of your hand. We'd roll it around, play with it on the school desk and stuff, and that was real common practice. And now, I mean, holy crap, they'd call the hazmat team now if you even considered that. So, I don't know. It's kind of a sad and somewhat depressing thought that we can't eat fish anymore. I do enjoy it. I don't do it that much, but I like the option of being able to go and do it. But then on the other hand, the conspiracy theory part of my brain kind of makes me wonder, our grocery stores are running out of food for no good reason that I can see. And, they're taking away people's propane stoves, gas stoves, propane heaters, and all that stuff. Makes me kind of wonder if they just don't want us to be able to fend for ourselves and go out and catch a fish for food or shoot a deer or whatever it is we want to do. I heard a while back the INEL, they call it something else now, INEEL or something, stands for Idaho National Engineering Laboratories. It's kind of a nuclear waste disposal site is what it is. It's down here at the road here, probably, from here it's probably 80 miles, maybe not quite that. And I read a few years back that the antelope all around that place test high for radioactivity. That ain't good, if that's true. So, I don't know. Like I say, it's very hard to know what to believe, what's true and what's not anymore. But I don't think it's going to slow me down. I enjoy doing these things, and nobody's going to stop me, whether it's people or chemicals. So, it's just the way it is. But what do I know? I'm just a hillbilly, a crazed mountain hobo. Still get a kick out of that. And, them science hippies, they're paid to know what they're talking about, so maybe it is true. I don't know. It's going to make it a little bit hard to enjoy eating those fish that you do catch, though, and that alone bothers me. The other thing, too, is that if it's in levels in fish high enough to affect us, it's in our drinking water too. So you can't filter that out if it's a chemical like that. So how many gallons of water do we drink a year? I know I don't eat that many fish a year. If we only have to drink or eat one fish to cause us problems, I don't think there's any getting around it. I think we're all going to have problems if that's really the case. And here at the fairgrounds, because it's a public water system, I have to take water samples several times a year, and they test mainly for bacteria and nitrates, which is something, man, I really hate doing. I have to chlorinate our water before I test it, and several times throughout the year to make sure there's no bacteria and stuff in it. But man, I'll tell you what, I would much rather drink bacteria than I would chlorine, bleach, basically. All the public systems in the whole United States, all the city water and stuff has bleach in it, chlorine. Some of it, I don't know if they put fluoride in it anymore. They used to put fluoride in it. It's supposed to be good for your teeth, but then they found out that was causing health problems. When Cindy was working for the feed store in town, they had a lot of their aquarium fish dying. And they would take the water and let it sit overnight to get the bleach out of it. But it was still killing the fish. Sometimes they'd let that water sit for 3 or 4 days, make sure there was no chlorine. And the fish were still dying. And they got talking to the guy up there at the water system, and found out there's all sorts of chemicals they're putting in the water besides that. And one of them was killing fish. And if it's killing fish, what's it doing to people? So, I guess if your babies are born naked You shouldn't have ate those fish.